Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 1358. My goodness, it has been an amazing journey, and some of you have been here from the beginning. So, welcome. We are reviewing chapter 10 from the book Think and Grow Rich. Super exciting time. And so, welcome here this morning. We have Adam. Hey, Adam. We have Chris and Rashida. You know how you say people's name, you want to make sure you say it right. So, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. What is today?
Grand rising, my sister.
Hi there. How are you?
I am fine, and yourself?
I am absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Today is going to be a great conversation. We're in chapter 10. We have been doing this, um, I don't know, for maybe like a almost a year now, if not a little bit more, the chapter reviews for the book Think and Grow Rich. So we are on chapter 10. We took some time in chapter 2 and 3. We did those for actually a couple months just so that people would be able to um, identify their statement. And yeah, so we are moving through the book. So I'm not sure how many of you all have been here from the beginning of this chapter review, but it is going to be great here this all the days run together. It's Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday. So listen, get you some coffee if you drink coffee, get you some tea, get you a protein shake if you drink protein shakes. Okay. Get water. Did I say water already? Water is in tea, but water, just get you some water. Because we're gonna be writing some stuff down. We're gonna be creating stuff. When I come, I like to for people to walk away with tangible things. And so we need y'all to like walk away with some tangible stuff. So get you a pen, get you a piece of paper, get you a notebook. If you guys have been here before, one of the sessions when we talked about imagination, we was writing some things down so it could be in the same notebook. Welcome to the people that are continuing to join. Z, it's good to see you. D, I'm not sure your full name, but we're just gonna call you D. Hey D, welcome. Have you ever been to Carolina Kitchen? I don't know if y'all have those in New York or wherever you're at, but when you walk in, they say, welcome. So welcome everybody. Today's gonna be a great day. Use the bathroom because this is gonna be class because we're also gonna recap real quick all the sessions, all the chapters from before. So this is gonna be a recap going into chapter 10. So I'm so excited to get started.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, and happy Tuesday. Listen, so today we are doing chapter 10 from the book review Think and Grow Rich. For those that have been here throughout this process, We have gone through 9 chapters. Some chapters we've spent a little more time on because they were a little bit more intense. And so we wanted to make sure that everybody was kind of on board with what was happening because the book is an action book. It is not one of those books that you read one time and you're like, oh my God, that was such a good book. No, like it's some things that you actually have to do in the book. And so yeah, so welcome everybody. So the purpose of this session is to kind of recap all the sessions, all the chapters, and then really dig into chapter 10, which is about creating your mastermind group. And when we hear mastermind group, what comes to mind? What do you guys think of when you think of a mastermind? I know it's early. I know it's early, but come on in the room.
Good morning. When I think of a mastermind, it's Athenia. When I think of a mastermind, I think of collaboration with others, being able to support, like, utilizing other people's knowledge or resources to support another person. So basically, having someone in a hot seat, offering advice, suggestions on a particular topic.
Yes, yes, love that. Love that. Anybody else?
This is Chantel. I was mentioning in our pre-brief that I started mastermind groups that were structured a little differently. Well, similar to what Athenia just said, we dedicated 2 hours of our time where we came together to work on projects that were for us, not anything about work or anyone else. It's like, what do you want to work on for you? What's something that you really want to bring out or bring to the world or you want to work on? Spend 2 hours of your time for you. And then between breaks, like we would play music on Zoom and we just sit there together and hold space with each other and come back like in 45 minutes or 30 minutes and share what you worked on, what you didn't work on. Maybe you did, do something on the side for work because something came up, like, and just being honest, like, yeah, I slipped and I did something else, but it's like owning that and sharing, like, why did that happen? I'm breaking this habit of prioritizing other things to focus on myself, and showing yourself grace in those moments, but also having feedback loops. Like, so what did you work on? What are we hearing? What can we help you with and share, some feedback on this project that they're working on. And, another 30 minutes, go back in and implement those changes and then come back and share what you worked on. So it was partnership in creating things that were important to us and, having this dedicated time to hold space for ourselves and each other.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chantel and Athena. This is when you walk away from today, I would love for you all to have in your written down notebook. Make sure you have a notebook or use your phone, whatever works for you, but your own mastermind group. And and you have to be really thoughtful about the people that you put in the group. One of the quotes out of the book, it says, no two minds ever come together without creating a third invisible force. I'm going to read it again, and then I want y'all to tell me what it means to you. No two minds ever come together without creating a third, an invisible force. I'm gonna read it again just because it's just so good to me. No two minds ever come together without creating a third invisible force. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Athenia?
Um, Two people usually, I know when I meet with other people, when they share information, it sparks something in me to think of another idea or think of something else. So that invisible third, I guess, is our collaborative minds fueling off each other or sparking each other.
Yes, yes. It's just like this third mind that's just right there. So it's like your ideas is coming from your brain, their ideas come from their brain, and it's creating, you see the brain? You see the brain? It's something, but you can't see it. So listen, like I don't do anything by myself. And yeah, it takes special people to actually build things from scratch. Because a lot of times when you're building things from scratch, a lot of times there's no money involved because you're just building it. And so it takes people that are invested in your vision, their vision, and you're coming together to build things. So yes, that's exactly what it is. You're creating something that would have not have been created had you not collaborated together. So it's about collaboration and strategic thinking. But before we get too in depth, right? Because the book tells a story. The book tells a story that you have to connect to in order to be able to, once you start getting into the end of the chapter, which is kind of, I mean, the end of the book, which is where we are, like it takes another level of thinking. And it's like shifting your mindset. There's this other book that I always tell people to read before they read this book. It's Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. Because if you haven't changed your paradigm before you start reading this book, the book is going to seem like this is not real. This stuff doesn't happen. So you have to force yourself to understand like where you are now. In order to be able to embrace the concepts of the book, you have to shift your mindset. You have to change your paradigm from what you grew up knowing and the people that you're around. It's like you're in like this different world where nobody else like it's a smaller world. It's a smaller world, but it's a great place to be. So let's go start with chapter one. Chapter one was the power of thought. Who has been here from the beginning of these book reviews? Anybody that want to come off mute and tell us what you remember chapter one being about? See some familiar names, but I'm not gonna call you out. I'm not gonna call you out because I know it's early. Maybe I'll start calling you out at 7:30. Maybe we get into the later chapters. But anybody want to tell us about chapter one? The power of the thought, the power of your mind, the power of, and this is just in general, not even in the book. I feel like we've been in spaces here and where people talk about your mindset and the power of your mind. So it overlaps in different areas. So if we think about the power of our mind and a single thought and shifting our brain when we have those automatic thoughts that may not be going in a positive direction, we have to quickly shift it to do something else. Somebody come to talk to me about the power of your thoughts and your mind.
Rachel has her.
Yes.
Peace and blessings. Good morning. I would say that it's been a minute, so I don't even think I remember um the book, but when I think about the power of the mind, I think about how we can change directions by how we shift the thought process
Mhm.
based off of like if we're feeling a certain way, it's our responsibility to like trick our minds. And so
Mhm.
I think about how I trick my mind on a daily basis if I wake up feeling a certain way. I definitely and there is power in that because what I see happens from that is that my day shifts
Yes.
and I am complete.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yes. A lot of times, our thoughts are also connected to those things that are around us. I remember I used to watch the news. I don't watch the news anymore. They came on the news and was like, they were talking about the weather and it was like it was raining and it was like it's gonna be a gloomy day. And I said, who says so? It's not gonna be gloomy because it's raining outside. It's liquid sunshine. And so like I was irritated with the news lady because I was like, you are telling people that they are gonna have a gloomy day because of the rain. Imagine if people don't want to go outside now because it's like, oh, it's raining, so I have to stay inside. I can't be outside. I hate being outside. Well, no, 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 no. Just go play in the rain. All kids go and play in the rain, but jump in the puddles. Like there's nothing wrong with the rain. But if you have in your mind, it's raining outside, the day is lost. All the things that you could have done, the people that you could have impacted because of the power of the thought that the news person put in your mind because it was going to be a gloomy day. It's not gloomy. It's liquid sunshine. So it's like those small things sometimes that we don't even think of that people are putting in us and saying to us that it was like, yeah, that is a thing. When it's like, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Stop it. So I don't even watch the news anymore. I don't even know what's happening. Um, because I just don't know. And so, yes. Any other thoughts before we go into chapter two, which is desire?
Just real quick, Z had a question in the chat, and maybe we'll kind of go over these chapters as we go through this. But she had said the last chapter you covered was 6, imagination. Are you going to summarize chapters 7 through 9, condense them, go back to them later, or skip them completely?
No, we're not skipping anything completely. So we did do organized planning, which is chapter 7. We talked about like how do you plan things. So chapters 8 and 9 are not long enough to do like a whole hour and a half session. So we are going to touch on those today as we do the recap, but they just weren't long enough to like have a full conversation about those. But these are, I also want to make sure we focus on things that are tangible that you can do and walk away with. So great questions. Did that mean you're paying attention? Appreciate you. But yes, I hope that answers your question. Anything else in the chat before we move on?
Rachel says she also hasn't watched the news in almost 13 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Cassandra said, change my stinking thinking, change my life.
Yes, come on, stinking thinking.
Yes.
All of the things, all of the things. All right. So step 1, which is chapter 2, but it's actually step 1, it talks about having a burning desire for something that you want. And um those it's like it can be anything, right? It could be an amount of money, it could be a house, it could be any of those things. But the house is connected to an amount of money. It could be a car, it could be a nonprofit that you want to have, it could be a business that you want to have. But there's money associated to creating those things. So it starts with a burning desire for something, and then you connect the amount of money that something cost to that burning desire, right? So how many people remember? Now I'm gonna call out somebody if nobody say anything. There's six steps in chapter 2 that you're creating a statement. What are those 6 steps?
Rachel's asking for a hint. Oh, Kaisha has her hand up.
Oh, Terry, I was waiting. She knew. She knew. Come on, girl.
She did. Okay, yep, you got me out of bed on this one. And I am cheating everyone, but I'll just help this conversation along. So the first step is fixing your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. I think that's what you really honed in on when you covered chapter 2, is pretty much the return of investment. Third is establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Fourth is create a definite plan to carry out your desire and begin at once. Whether you're ready or not, put the plan into action. Fifth is write a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit to its acquisition, state what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. And 6, read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see, and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. I'm complete.
Kaisha. So this we spent a good amount of time on that chapter because we were helping people create their statements. So I am putting in the chat what Kaisha just said so that you can cut it and paste it. For future references. But fix your mind on the exact amount of money that you want, which is connected to the desire, the thing that you really want. Determine exactly what you will give in return. So you've heard the statement, freely you give, freely you receive. And so in the book, it really digs deep into being a service to other people and not always getting compensated for it. So whether you're volunteering, whether you are providing a service that you normally get paid for, but you are giving it away. You're giving it away to a certain amount of people with a certain amount of money, whatever it is but you want to be super specific about, which is why it says determine exactly what you will give away. So first, so say it's $100,000. When $100,000, say you do coaching or something, and you want to give a certain amount of coaching sessions away. And the next one is to establish a definite date that you intend to acquire the money. So if you want $100,000 and you want to get $100,000 in 2 months, sounds crazy, but if you have a plan and you're reading the statement every day, it is totally possible, right? And so you are determining the date. So this is a sentence that you're creating. The next one, which is probably the most important one, is create a definite plan on how you will carry it out. So a lot of times people will have statements down, they'll write it down, or they'll have an amount of money that they want, but there's no specific plan on how to get it. So if you have a coaching program, how much do you charge for your coaching program? How many people do you need to have pay for your coaching program for you to attain that amount of money? So you have to be super specific. So it's not like we're looking for money to just fall out the sky because we said we wanted it. We're connecting what we're doing, what we love to do, what we enjoy doing to also income, right? Like you work and you get paid. So it's not just about um like just gonna come, but what work are you doing? Which also is connected to what is your purpose in life? Right? When your purpose to do things in life, like you just and you love it, like this is like fun stuff. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. So you're creating a plan because you enjoy the thing that you're doing. And this is also a thought. If you don't enjoy the thing that you're doing, you're probably not walking in your purpose. You're probably not really connected to the thing that you're passionate about. You probably just have a job making money to pay your bills, but you're not necessarily enjoying the process. And so we want to think about that too. Are we connected to our purpose? Because even when you get tired, when you're connected to your purpose, you find another level of energy. So it's like supernatural energy that you keep going because you just enjoy it so much. Like you have to tell your brain to stop it because you need to go to bed. So those are places that we really want to get to where we're just like loving all the things that we're doing. And then you write a clear statement. So you write all these things, step one, step two, steps three. So you're writing their money, you're writing the exact thing that you will give in return. You are creating a definite plan for what that looks like. Then you're writing it in a statement. And then you are saying it twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And then you're visualizing that thing that you started in the very beginning, the desire that you want. You are seeing that thing as you're reading the statement, but it's not overwhelming because you're actually excited to do the things that's in the step three of how you'll carry it out. Any questions about that before we move into chapter 3? Any questions? Is that clear to everybody how to create your statement? We spent a good amount of time on that. Does anyone here that was in those sessions that want to share what their statement is and how that's coming? How reading it every morning, every evening is coming. And it's a habit that you have to begin um to do and remember or remind yourself, or instead of reminder, or have it on your mirrors or by your bed so that you remember to read it in the morning and in the evenings. Anybody want to share their statement? Don't be scared. Z, you mentioned something earlier. Did you create a statement?
We've got Chris with his hand up.
Come on, Chris. How we doing?
Grand Rising, Lavanya.
Good morning. How you doing?
Pretty well, pretty well. I was not here until chapter 6. I'm catching up, but listening to what you just said, I just crunched my numbers, and I
Mm-hmm.
will need about $990 to $10,800 in that range to start my own little league soccer team. So
Ooh.
I thought when I was thinking about this for so long, I don't know why I thought I had to be a millionaire, but listening to what you said, it's only 990 to 10,800. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, I feel really good about that. That's not even a lot. Thank you for this.
So we have the amount of money. So what are you going to give in return for this money?
My little league soccer team.
So that's okay. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
I'm gonna coach it
For free.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need the amount of money that you described so that you can have the coaching, the little league coaching for the kids.
Yeah,
Soccer
I
team.
did the research just now, and that's what it costs annually per child in New York City.
Nice.
So that's like the big ranges. So that's why it's so big. So I was like, just in case it might be the biggest number, and that's for the most amount of players, just in case, because I got 2 kids and all
Yes.
that. So yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
it's not even a lot.
I love that.
I mean, I
Okay,
play
so
myself every day anyway. So
so what's the exact date that you want to acquire the money so you can start the program?
well, what I've been telling myself, today is the second to last court date for me to be able to get my kids back. It is later. So what I've been saying is, I'm gonna wait till right after that, and then I'm gonna start, because that's a huge thing. So definitely, I want it to be for this year. I already have somebody who sponsors the t-shirts, the
I
Cape
love it.
Crusaders. They're in the car community, and they do a bunch of like events and stuff. So I've been wearing it and promoting on my social media. I'll send it to you guys, and we're ready. We're halfway there.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so the next step is create a definite plan to obtain the money. So what is your plan to obtain the money so that you can start?
See, I have no clue. I started on chapter 6 with y'all, but I'm getting there. I'm catching up.
So
You know what I'm saying?
listen, I love it though. Do you have the book?
No, I was just listening it to on my Apple thing, and I tried to do the PDF thing and everything, but definitely that while
Yes.
playing soccer and stuff like that. So,
You can
you
listen
know,
to it. Yeah. So have you
oh
started
yeah,
from the beginning?
yeah. He started with the good dad and the other dad, the poor dad, I
Uh-huh.
mean, and the rich dad.
Uh-huh.
That he was
Uh-huh.
saying,
Uh-huh.
one was telling him just get a job, and the other one was like, nah, nah,
Mm.
nah, And then at one point he tried to quit his job, like, you're not paying me enough. He's like, remember that part? And the guy was like, no,
Yeah.
it's because they trying to teach him a lesson. So I mean, I went through the whole thing, but it was pretty good
Yeah.
listening to it.
I love it. All right. So you have a start. You have the book. You can listen to it. I listen to it when I'm like walking or doing different things because it's just, you know, it's like something that you have to continue to hear over and over again. It has to be something that's a part of you, not just something that you read one time. So I love that. I love it. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for
Oh,
sharing.
thank
I
you.
appreciate that. And as you finish creating your sentence, make sure you read it. You got to read it in the
Yes.
morning and at night, right? This is a thing like you wanted to get into your subconscious. Like it's just, that's the thing that's going to happen.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna start doing that.
Okay. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else before we move on? This is fun stuff. It's fun stuff.
I can read mine,
Yes.
Athenia.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
by December 31st, 2025, I will have in my possession $100,000, which will come to me in various amounts for my business coaching and event planning services. In return for this money, I will give the best of my ability in delivering high impact programs, creating cultural community events, and inspiring entrepreneurs to grow. I will have this money in my hands by December 31st, 2025. I'm devoting consistent daily action to my plans and fully believe that I will achieve this goal. I see and feel this success already in my mind, and I am complete.
I love that. Okay, so can we pick that apart real quick, real
Sure,
quick?
let's do it.
All right. So the amount of money is $100,000, right?
Mhm.
The now you gave a couple of different things that you're going to give away. Can you be more specific in what you're giving away? Like, is it a certain amount of? Because when we're talking about giving away, we're giving away for free. It's not something that we're getting paid for. So break down what specifically you're giving away for free. Is it to a certain amount of people? Is it to certain groups? Is it every Wednesday you're going to do something for free? Like specifically, what is it that you're giving away for free?
Mhm. Um, so one of the things that I have and intended to give away for free is 30 days for my platform for people to get the access to be able to use, and then doing
Mhm.
trainings with people on how to use it. So that is one of the things I have not. It's not true. I do have the number on my board. I'm outside right now, but I think it was like something like 300 people is what I would
Mhm.
like to have going through that process for me to be able to get at least half of that, so at least 150 people on variant levels on my platform.
Okay. And so the you created the date, which this is December 31st, right?
Mhm.
2025.
Yep.
And then creating a definite plan, carrying it out is so you talked about different levels and money coming in different ways. Can you be more specific in how much money you want to come from those specific areas? How many people you need to um get to purchase your programs or the things that you're doing to get to that money, so it's very clear.
Yes, I do have that broken down.
Okay, lovely.
I do need to commit it to memory though. Like I said, I
Hmm.
have it on my whiteboard, so it's right by
Hmm.
my desk every day when I sit down before I start. I pray, I look at it, and I'm like, all right, Lord, what are you going to do to help me to get to this, to get to these numbers, or who are you going to bring into my circle? Like,
Yes.
especially when I go into a networking event, a virtual networking event, I'm like, okay, who am I going to meet that's going to help me get to my goal?
Hmm. Love that, because that's the next part is reading it in the morning and the evening.
Mhm.
And sometimes you put it places where you remember to see it. So it's like a thing that actually happens. I love
I have
that.
to commit to reading it at night. I only read it in the morning. So that is
Yes.
something that I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do both. So that going to sleep one is definitely pivotal.
Beauty in this is progress though. Because if you think maybe 5 years ago, you wasn't reading nothing even in the morning.
Absolutely not.
So I think one of the things too that we think about when we read these things is like, giving yourself grace. Like you may not read it every morning, you may not, but it's more than what you were doing before. So even like with working out or eating healthy, it's like, oh my God, I ate a piece of fried chicken, but for the last 6 months you've been eating vegetables and you've been working out. And so it's like give yourself grace, like you're doing more. You're doing things to get to where you want to go, but don't beat yourself up if you're not perfect at it. So that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for progress, not perfection. So that's awesome. So thank you for sharing. All right. So let's go to chapter 3. Chapter 3 talks about faith, right? A lot of times when, Athenia just said she wants $100,000 by the end of the year. Some people be like, it's April. It's about to be May. How does that happen? Listen, it's not for us to figure out. That's not for us to figure out. In the books, it's like what we're doing are things that we cannot do within our own power. Right? Like we have to be open to creative ideas. We have to be open to people that are going to come into our life that can take us to the next level. We have to be open to those things. So that's where chapter 3 comes in. It's like you have to have faith that this is going to happen, which is why it also says you have to read it with like you can see it, like you can visualize it, like you have to have like unshakable faith. Like you have to have this burning in chapter 2, it talks about a burning desire. Like you have to have a burning desire for this to happen. So as you're reading it, like you can see it, you can visualize it as you're reading it, right? And so then we go to faith. Like we have to not just have the desire. We can't just have the statement. Like you can't read the statement without conviction. You can't read the statement. And it's like, I hope this happened. Oh, you got down the back of your head. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's okay. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like I want to make $100,000 in the next 30 days, right? It sounds crazy, and it's okay. It's okay because, but I have faith it's gonna happen, right? Like I have faith that I'll come back here in May and be like, oh my God, I made $100,000, and this is what happened. So, and then also not being discouraged because I want to be clear. My original date for $100,000 was last year. Just kept switching the date and like reevaluating my sentence to figure out, okay, am I doing the thing that I said that I would be able to do to get the thing? And so you just readjust. Like you don't give up, you don't stop. So each month that it didn't happen, I just move it to the next month. And then because it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. So you have to have faith that just because it didn't come the original time that you said it was going to come, like, are you doing the things that the sentence said you were going to do? So you can't just say it. You actually have to do the things that you said you was going to do. So, all right. Any questions about faith and what that looks like? All right. So chapter 4 talks about autosuggestion. Does anyone know what autosuggestion is? What is autosuggestion? Has anyone heard the word autosuggestion before?
Can you spell it out? Are you saying auto? Auto?
Auto, AUTO, suggestion, SUGGESTION. So I'm going to give you the definition. It says
Oh,
autosuggestion is
Taisha has her hand up.
Taisha.
Taisha has her book out. Let's go.
No, you can go, because what I was thinking without reading the book was auto suggestion, because once you have your faith, I believe auto suggestion was after you're reading your statement every day, it comes and we already changed our thought process. Auto suggestion just automatic. Your mindset is starting to shift. It's really starting to believe your statement. And the things that you're thinking about is no longer lack. It's how can I make my statement better, or how can I make this goal better? So that's what I was thinking. It's like it says in the book, the subconscious mind. It's like it's coming to you easily. You don't have to convince yourself any longer of your statement or of your beliefs, because you've been thinking about it, you've been practicing, you've been reading your statement every day. And now is when, like, just like right now, the way you say auto suggestion, the definition just comes right to you immediately. So that's what I'm thinking without reading the notes. That's what I remember auto suggestion is.
Lovely. That was perfect. Yes. Autosuggestion is repeating. When you're repeating something, you're telling yourself what you're intending to accomplish, you're visualizing it, and it influences your subconscious. So autosuggestion is just repeating, like repeating that statement speaks to your subconscious mind. And so a lot of times somebody will say something or you do something and it'll just automatically come because it's there, because you've continued to auto-suggest to your mind by repeating it over and over again. So anything that you repeat happens. That's why they say, be careful what you listen to, be careful who you're around, because that is what is coming into your subconscious mind. And so what's in there automatically comes out. Does that make sense? Any questions about auto suggestion? In the book, it talks about saturating your mind with positive thoughts of your goal. Again, seeing it, believing that it can happen, and having positive thoughts toward it. Does that make sense? Any questions about?
Work both ways, like you said. So,
Hmm?
I said yes. It makes sense, and it can work both ways. High and low vibrational thoughts, and how we allow them to intercept in our day, in our minds, both ways.
That is so good. Oh, that's so good. That's why you control what happens to you. One of the quotes that I love, people say, what you're not changing, you're choosing. So if, there's this term that's called poverty mindset. And if you don't change the way that you see money, the way that you see the world, the way that you see income, the way that you see different things just based off of what you learned growing up, it'll be hard to connect to these concepts because the what has been put inside of you over the years has not shifted. Um, so yeah, that was good. Thank you for that. All right. So if no other questions, we're going to move into chapter 5, which is specialized knowledge, right? So if you go back to chapter 2, what it's talking about, that specific thing that you're going to actually do to be able to obtain money, whether it's coaching, whether it's programs, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever those thing that you're doing, you have to be the expert. If we think about coaching, anyone can be a coach. You can take a course for 2 days and be a coach. You can be a life coach in 2 days. My God, how does that happen? So there's no rules and regulations on being coaching. So what makes you special? What makes you special is actually being an expert in that, having that specialized knowledge, like reading the books that's connected to that. So people are great in finance, right? They're good in accounting. They're taking courses in that. They're not just showing, and they've also probably been successful in that area. So I'm not going to I always say, I'm not going to tell you anything that I haven't experienced myself. I will refer you out to somebody, right? So I'm not going to, I don't, I'm not a fan of adding and subtracting. I'm not a fan of math. So someone comes to me and says, "Hey, Lavonya, can you help me um be my accountant?" No, I cannot. I don't even like that. But I can refer you to somebody that does, right? So you have to know, again, goes back to what is your purpose? What are you connected to? What do you like to do? Right? What do you wake up in the morning and go to bed thinking about? Right? Because when you're connected, though, that's the thing that's gonna bring you money. So that's the thing that you want to have that specialized knowledge in. So it's not just going to come to you. We're not just talking about being on the beach. Okay. If you're going to be on the beach, I need you to be reading a book. If you're going to be on the beach, I need you to be listening to an audio book. If you're going to be on the beach, you can be on the beach and still take a college course. Okay. Like, I'm not saying just go to the beach and just listen to the waves. You got to be doing something on the beach so that you have the specialized knowledge. Okay. So there's work connected to thinking and growing rich, but it's not like hard work because you enjoy doing it. Why? Because it's connected to your purpose and your passion. So you enjoy doing it, even at the beach. Okay. Okay. Any questions about specialized knowledge? It is 7:41. My gosh. All right. Any questions about specialized knowledge? No? All right. Chapter 6. Woo, chapter 6 is my favorite chapter. Does anyone know why chapter 6 is my favorite chapter? Because it talks about imagination. I went to Epcot Center last week and they have this ride called A Figment of Your Imagination. And they were all kiddie rides, but I was like, if we could go back to the way that we thought as kids. Right now, we don't use our imagination. It's difficult to use our imagination because we just do what we're told to do. We go to work every day. We got kids. We got to cook. We got to eat. We got to be good people. And so it's not easy being a good person sometimes. So it takes work. It takes thought. It takes all those things, right? So we're not in spaces where we use our imagination. So one of the sessions, Z referred to it earlier about using our imagination. And so the activity that we did is we watched this Steve Harvey. It's an 8-minute video. If you go type in YouTube 300 things, he talks about two things. You have not because you ask not, and to write the vision and make them plain. So he challenges us to write 300 things that we are believing God for and read it every morning and every night. So I've been taking this thing to the next level. So I have currently, I think, 370 things. I started my list in October of 2023. So far, I've checked off at least 70 things on that list. And so that's why I just keep adding stuff when things happen. Or I see something, I'm like, oh, I want that. I add it to the list. So I currently have 370 things. And I try my best to read it every morning. It doesn't always happen, but for the most part, I read that list along with my statement every morning. So I read my list of 370 things. I read my statement. And in the book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, he also talks about writing your statement. So I read it and I write it 3 times in the mornings before I get my day started. Yes, the audio is free on YouTube. You can listen to it in your car. You can listen to it at the beach. You can listen to it anywhere. So we have to use our imagination. I would love for you guys to listen to that audio. And if you don't have a list already started, to create one. It is so much fun. And the list is not something that you can do on your own power. It is something that says, write 300 things that you're believing God for that He can help you do. Like He has the ability, He has the whole world. Like, right? So the things that I have on my list, some of the things that I have is some things that I do have control over. So, for example, I've shared this before. I want one chin. Looking like this, it looks like I have one, but if I twist it to the left or to the right or down too far, it's more than one. It's like two. And so I just want one. I just want one. And I also want to start a nonprofit. I want a jet. I want a house on the beach. I want a mansion in Africa. I want a Yukon Denali. I want to start a university. I want to, there's like certain groups of people that I want to give a certain amount of money to. So the list can be as extreme as you want it to. I also have on there, I don't want any balding. So my family, they have uh baldness, that the women have baldness at the top. I don't now this is not mine, but I do want mine. I don't want balding. Can't control that necessarily, but it's on the list. It is on the list. And so think about, use your imagination for the things that you want, things that you can't do. I have this weird half lazy eye, right? It just sometimes does not go in the direction I want to go. So I wrote, I want 20/20 vision. I want contacts and glasses. I want 20/20 vision, and I don't want this eye to be lazy when I'm taking pictures. It's like, who are you looking at, right? And so it's not control those things. So it's like it's using your imagination. It's like for me, it was so much fun. But he does say, like, because this is not something that it's not a muscle that you often use, you might get to 7 and be like, I can't think of nothing else. And that's when you got to keep pushing. That's when you got to keep going. You can't stop. Right. And so, okay. So, chapter 6 is talking about using your imagination. Any questions about chapter 6? And if you go back to the Facebook groups, all the links and all the categories and all that stuff is in those sessions. Any questions about chapter 6? All right, so chapter 7 talks about organized planning. So while we're being creative and we're using our imagination and all those things, there's still some strategy that we have to have in order to bring these things to life. So it's not like we are not being strategic about planning. So it's like, think about what it is that you want to do. So Chris, you talked about the soccer team. Now, I don't know much about building a soccer team, but it sounds like a lot of work. And it also sounds like something that you can't necessarily do yourself. So, in your planning, who are the people that are connected to helping you bring this vision to life? What
In
are the
my plan,
steps? Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Um, I'm still not sure, but I am training very hard myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if you know, but I was diagnosed with a left leg numbness due to domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And doing a lot of holistic care, box breathing, a lot of focus on myself and everything. It actually I no longer have left leg numbness. You know,
Wow.
so yeah, no, I'm very excited. So because as a nurse assistant, I've met people who should not realistically be in the conditions they are. It motivated me also to say, you know what, let me look at myself, and it pushed me forward. And now that's kind of like the motivation behind it. I'm just gonna keep moving until the wheels fall off. In case I can't walk again, I'm here doing everything I can. So the team right now, I got one. The Kid Crusaders are they have the uniform, the t-shirts, and I have people who know how to sew. So uniform wise and everything, I actually crunched it down again while we were speaking. It's
Good.
only gonna be like about like $65 to get the equipment because I already have 4 children that are willing to do it. So this is it's getting a lot simpler.
I love it. I love it. And that's the thing when you start writing things down and you start like organizing your thoughts and where you're going to practice, all who we playing against, all those things, like you're creating the plan before it even happens,
Yeah. Oh wow, I did. I was in a. I'm just here, just going based on what y'all saying, but it's all formulating itself.
right? And so the more you start to write, the more you'll be like, oh, and then this, and oh, and
Oh,
then this. Who
I'm
can help me
feeling it
with
all
this?
up.
I love
This
it.
whole notebook is.
Listen, I love it. Yes. No, that this is good because again, right, like you have to start writing. You have to start writing. And then you have you heard the statement, if you build it, they will come?
It's my favorite movie. Angels
Right?
in the Outfield.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite. I like those kind of movies.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so just start building it, writing it all down, write all the things down. And the people, you'll be at the mall and somebody will just have a random conversation. They might be talking about, oh, we have this field that we have students, whatever, right? Like, oh my gosh, tell me more. Because I have a soccer team that needs a practice space. Like things just happen. I'm telling you, they just happen, the smallest things, because you've written it down. And because it's in the top of your brain and your also in your subconscious, when someone says something, it's brought to the forefront of your mind because it's already there. Like you don't have to force it to come. You don't have to read your notes because you're putting it in your brain every day. It's already there. It's automatically there. It becomes an automatic thought.
Ah.
When you focus on positivity and someone comes and starts talking negative, you be like, oh my God, I gotta go. My body is having a physical reaction to your negativity. We can no longer be friends.
Listen to Pharrell Happy. I just want to say that my grandma who raised me, she was born in the 1800s, and she wasn't allowed to write. It was illegal, super illegal. And we have a trauma where we have a phrase of our own, and a lot of people have not used it in a while, which is writing is a form of learning. So the whole technology thing and everything is not the same. You know what I'm saying? And her generation saw why writing is a form, and everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's from the Haitian side. So, and the Dominican side. We out here. And I conclude.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Love that. All right. Do we have, I see some things popping up in the chat. I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. I can't
Uh,
see.
Athenia, a lot of people were just sharing the book. Someone had asked what we were reading, and then Athenia had said you are also attracting people who want to help you because they see your vision. So yes, build and
Mhm.
they will come. And then I know Queen Aid unmuted. Did you still have something you want to share, Queen Aid?
Oh no, I didn't mean to
Oh,
unmute. I got
okay.
weird since I'm unmuted. This is one of my favorite books and also one of my favorite author speakers. I love Napoleon Hill. I actually listen to him every AM. Very powerful.
Yes.
So that's why I'm
Mhm.
not saying too much. I'm just kind of letting everybody else talk because I could talk on this book all day. Like it's a very and if you listen to it, I want to tell you take some time because you ain't gonna be able to listen to it in one day. It's a very long, lengthy book if you're listening to the audio. But I just want to say on the book that is when you talk about imagination, that helped me a lot. And since we speaking on this topic, one of the things I did was when they was talking about faith. So one of the
Mhm.
things a lot of people um, like I even tell my kids now. So one of the things I stopped doing now is I stopped praying and I just started having faith. And I've been doing it for a little while now. Since I've been listening to Napoleon Hill and a lot of other things. And don't get me wrong, like I still, but I noticed when I did that, because when I pray, you know what I mean, I looked up definitions. So I'm a definition, queen. So, prayer, you actually waiting on somebody, you asking for help, you know what I mean? It's like you in need. But when you have faith, you just believe, you know what I mean? And once I started doing that and I just started believing that things was going to be, my life changed. I just started like, I'm talking about even with my health, like when I just had faith, because I used to pray a long time for my high blood pressure. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but I was on high blood pressure pills since I was like 13 all the way up until I was in my mid 30s. But once I had faith, I just threw medicine away. I changed my eating habit, got rid of my relationship that was stressing me out. And
Mm.
I have not ever picked up a pill, medicine
Wow.
since. And that's been 10 years. So, and this is to nobody, because even my kids still pray. So let me explain this. So it's nothing to nobody. For me, this is what worked for me. So when you was talking about having faith, that was deep for me because when I prayed, like I was raised in religion. So, it kept me stuck a lot. And this is to nobody else. But once I started just having faith and moving forward, it was a total different change. So that's all I want to say on that. And Napoleon Hill was a big part of that.
Mhm.
Like I love Napoleon Hill and the way and if y'all ain't ever like listened to him, like, or just read the book, just read it because like it had me thinking about a whole lot of things different down to like, even the people you like, it's things that you would never even think, like the people you around, to like how she was talking about, like, take your imagination. She talks about acting like a kid a lot, like, so, like kids, they have imaginations, but we are taught to get rid of our imagination when we're young. And he talks a lot about that. So, but I don't want to talk no more, because like I said, I talk about this book all day. But that's all I wanted to say, and I am complete.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. You said so many good things. Um, this book is long and it's also an action book, right? And so this is probably like my seventh or eighth time going through the book. I do book clubs for the book so that we like can break the book down together. Also, like creating when we get into the chapter 10, it talks about your mastermind group, which is where the accountability comes in. Because how many of us have things that we want to do, but because we have no accountability, nobody's checking for us, right? They just, we're busy. But when it's time to go to the next level, there's a focus. Like you have to have a focus that is like unshakable. And anyone that's not directly connected to where you want to go, I'm sorry, we might not be able to chat it up. I had a friend one time and she was like, "You always want to talk about doing something or building something. Like, let's just talk about the price of tea in China." No, I don't have time to talk about price of tea in China. Are we going to China to buy the tea? To come back to America to sell it? I mean, why are we talking about the price of tea in China? And I'm exaggerating. But she just wanted me to come to our house to eat like lettuce and cucumbers with the kids. I was like, I'm not doing that. First of all, it takes me 45 minutes to get to your house, 45 minutes to get back. You're gonna have to be having idle conversation about nothing. I'm not interested in that. And so you might need to find friends that are interested in that. And so it's okay. It's okay. You just find the people that are interested in where but people aren't gonna make you be the friend that they want you to be. No, I'm not doing that. So yes, thank you for sharing. Amazing. All right. So we are going to go into chapter 8, which is about making decisions. So we didn't spend a lot of time on this one, as you mentioned earlier, but when it talks about making decision, it also talks about procrastination. Is anybody here feel like sometimes they procrastinate? Or they may have a thought and they don't act on it instantly? Or not instantly, they keep having these thoughts. So chapter 8 talks about mastering procrastination. What are some thoughts? What are some of your thoughts when you think about making a decision and procrastinating?
Can I share?
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna type it all in the chat, but I thought I'll just unmute instead. So for me, I feel like I'm a little bit different where I do everything all at once.
Mhm.
So even though when those thoughts come, I'm kind of more impulsive and I do them. But now I'm in a season of like, I guess intentionally procrastinating. So I'll literally tell myself later, just as a priority thing. Because not everything that comes to your mind is important. So that's all I wanted to add.
So I have a question. So when you say later, do you put a date on later? When is later?
So I have like project management tools that I use. So I'll
Mhm.
put it in there. I call it a backlog. So I'll put it in the backlog so I won't have to think about it and busy up my mind with it, but I do need to get it out my head.
Yes, I love that. And because you have to use what works for you. So I asked her that question because we all do things differently. And you have to figure out what works for you. So I love that backlog idea. So it's not like it's I have the idea because what happens is when you write it down, when it's time for it to come back, it automatically comes back because you wrote it down. And you're like, okay, this is the time. I wrote this down. I had this idea 6 months ago, right? And now someone said something or there's an opportunity and it's like, oh, this is the perfect time to do this. And so I love that. Some people create Google Docs. Some people create notes in their phones. You have to just figure out what works for you. And there's no one right way, but it's important not to not move. And there's sometimes that you have to move immediately. I had an event a couple of months ago, and there was a lady sitting at the table, and I walked by her one time because I was going to the front for something, and I was coming back. And the Holy Spirit was like, invite her into the room. And so I was like, in my mind, I'm talking to myself, no, 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 no. And so I was like, hey, what's your name? What are you doing? What you doing tonight? You want to come back here? And so by the end of the event, someone in the group that was already there was like, this whole event was for you because she was having a rough time. She worked for the federal government with all the stuff and the drama that's happening in that space. Like she was just so overwhelmed. And the things that we were discussing was directly connected to what she was going through. So at the end of it, she was like, thank you for being obedient. And I was like, I was. Had I not, she wouldn't have received what she needed for that day because I didn't go to her and say, do you want to come into this room?
Is anybody there? Or is it just me?
Yep, no, we're here.
I'm here.
I thought it was just me.
I thought it was me too.
So
We'll get
I'm
her back.
running around in the house. Like,
All right, we'll get her back in 1 second. Her Wi-Fi probably cut out. Just 1 sec so we can check in with her.
And in the meantime, thank you everyone for joining us so far. And I'll drop in Lavonya's information if anyone has to leave out now that it's 8 a.m. And here she is. She's back.
I don't know what just happened, but I am back. All right.
Let's see, there you go. So we were just saying thank you to everyone for joining us. It's 8 o'clock, so we're dropping your information in the chat for everyone who has to go, but we'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you. That was perfect timing for the 8 o'clock thing. All right. So the next chapter is being persistent. So one of the other things that the book talks about is being persistent in what it is that you want to do. So for example, when we talked about back in chapter 2 about the things that you are going to do to be able to obtain the money, you have to be persistent in those things. And so it's not and you have to be really focused. So when it talks about even in chapter 7 with organized planning, like you have to create the structure, you have to create the milestones, you have to create, okay, by this date, I want to do these things. You have to be very specific. It's not something that is like willy-nilly. You can't be willy-nilly when you want to think and grow rich. And so things are not always going to work out. You can have a plan. You're going to have created the outline. You're going to think you have created the people. You have the people that are going to help you, and something is not going to go the way that you had planned. And that is okay. And that is where this skill comes in being persistent and not giving up. In the book has a lot of stories. They have a lot of stories about different situations and scenarios. And this person did this and this person did that. And in the book, it just helps you to see that when you are persistent about something, it eventually will come to pass. And so it's about not giving up and continuing to do the thing that you believe that you were created to do. So, any thoughts on being persistent? Okay. So now we are going into chapter 10. And I would like for all of you to pull out your piece of paper and pencils because we're going to create our mastermind groups. So when you think about who you want in your group, you want to think about your skills. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen or use your phone, write down what you think your skills are. What are your skills? Are you a people person? What type of personality you have? What type of learning style do you have? How do you receive and give information? Just take a couple seconds to think about who you are, how you show up in the room. And then I want you to think about the things that you don't enjoy doing. Earlier, I talked about I don't like numbers. I don't want to add, subtract, multiply. They have these Excel spreadsheets that like calculate things for you. I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. So think about the things that don't bring you joy and write those down. Would anyone like to share what they've written down? What they have so far?
Sierra, I can share mine.
Yes.
A little hard for me. I don't like introspection and then also I like to think of myself a little bit like a chameleon. So it's like, oh, the people that I'm looking for, I'm like, well, if they don't have that, then I'll just try to do better at that. I need someone that is more firm in their skills. But to start with myself, my learning style is kinesthetic. So I like to be hands-on. I like to be hands-on and I learn best that way. And then I like to think of myself as a good motivator. Sometimes not for myself, but like when it comes to others, I always like having like accountability buddies. I tend to be the accountability buddy, just to like, oh, hey, remember you said you wanted to do that. So I'm good at like making a plan and keeping people to it. And then my last one is I'm really good at like managing my time when I want to. So in college, I had like a Google Calendar and all my friends, like they knew they had to send me like a Google invite in order to like hang out. Because like I had everything planned, my study times, my meal times, everything like that. So that was one of my strengths. And like I'd always end up like helping my friends with theirs. And then like we'd plan like group study times, things like that. And I was always in charge of like what we would do during the group study time, like making agendas. So very strong like planner. But when it comes to like keeping the time of all that, like I'll make the agenda, but then I need someone to like hold you to it and be like, okay, Sierra, we said like at this time we're gonna switch to that. So it's like, okay, because I'm very like one of my faults is like I want to finish what I'm working on before I move on to something else. So I always need someone that's like almost like a priority checker. Like, okay, we said that we were going to work on this, this, and this. I know we're not done with that, but like we need to get started on this other thing. So someone that can kind of push me along and keep me in check is what I typically look for in like my other, the people in my groups. Any of that made sense?
So this is kind of what all the things that you just said is beautiful. So now I want us to think about 3 to 5 people that we would be interested in collaborating with that have shared faith, teach you about your skills and the skills that you or the things that you don't enjoy doing much because you want a combination of skills. So if everyone is visionaries, you have 5 visionaries. Oh my gosh, do you know how much stuff that you're going to create? But you're not going to get anything done. Okay, because you don't have the person that has that strong admin skills. You don't have the person necessarily that's thinking about other people, right? You don't have the person that is asking all the hard questions because they are confused and they want to be clear. Those I love those people because they ask all the questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it there? Why? And a lot of times people get frustrated with those people. But for me, I love them because it makes me think about why I'm doing it, which goes back to the intent behind whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay. So we're thinking about who we want to collaborate with, who are doers, right? You don't want people that procrastinate. You don't want people that have ideas but they're not executing in their own lives, right? So we're connecting to people that are on a higher level of thinking. So who do you want to collaborate with? Who has shared faith? Because if you don't have faith, or if you, for example, if we think back to when we were talking about the brains, right? The one brain, the two brain, then we have the third brain that's invisible. 1 + 1 = 3. There's two people, but it equals 3. And so if you ask somebody, how do you do math? Right? In this group, 1 + 1 = 3. Do you believe that? Or do you believe 1 + 1 = 2? I think you might have to explain. But if they don't believe, they don't have the shared faith that 1 + 1 = 3, they don't qualify. They cannot come with you because they don't qualify. So because you don't have shared faith. So you can't go fast because you don't have shared faith. Now you're convincing people that the direction I want to go in is the appropriate direction because they think it's 2 and it's really 3, right? And that combination of skills, and then everyone is comfortable being held accountable. Sierra talked earlier about the accountability piece. So those are 4 things. So I'm going to give you 2 seconds because we don't have that much time. And I want everyone to kind of share out. Think about who you want to collaborate with, the shared faith, combination of skills, and accountability. And just start writing some names down. You might cross them out as we go through, but just start writing some names down. As you're thinking about it, think about who is also creative. What skills do they have that would complement the group that you're creating? If you think about teamwork, building a team, and they have to be wholeheartedly believing in a common goal. So it could be one common goal. And I think Chantel said earlier that everyone had their own individual goals that they were holding each other accountable to. So you can also have individual goals. You could be supporting each other individually. So as you're writing the names down, I also want you to think about what is the goal? Is the goal to put together a program? Is the goal to obtain the amount of money? And then you need this team to help you obtain the money. People that are not going to tell you that sounds crazy, that no, you can't do that. But people that, how are we going to do that? Because I believe if I can think it, it can happen. So I need people around me that have that same mindset. All right, who would like to share what's coming up for you as you are creating your list of either people or you're thinking, what's happening in your brain right now? One of the things that came up for me was I wanted my the people that were close to me, like some of my family, some of my friends, I wanted them to go with me, and they could not. They couldn't see the vision. I remember I told one of my family members, like, we have to read this book because we have to change our mindset. We have to see the world differently. And so she was like, "There's nothing wrong with my mindset." Then she was like, "Matter of fact, you just read the book and come back and tell me what you read." No, No, like we have to do this together. Like we have to develop and grow together. But she was not with that. She said, you go do the work and come back and share it with me. I was like, I'm not doing that. And so we don't talk to this day because there's nothing to talk about. I love her. I'm not mad at her. But type of conversations are we going to have? What are we going to talk about? The price of tea in China. That I have heard that too. I don't read. I don't like to read. Yes. And that's okay. Oh, okay. So that means you're gonna stay where you are. But you can give them the option. You can be like, well, you can have the audible book. And then be like, well, no, I like to listen to my music while I'm driving. What? Okay. Okay. So you don't want to change. Okay. What else? What's coming up for you guys as you're thinking about creating this group of people? As you're thinking about your skills, other people's skills, the knowledge that you have, the knowledge that they have, this collaboration group. What's coming up for you? Chris?
Hey, so what's coming up for me is, well, hopefully after this trial is over today later on, it seems like based on the New York City rules, you need 4 to 9 players. I will already have all four just to start off and see how that works. And then looking at my own skills, my apparently I'm even better with my worst leg somehow. I have no idea. But aside from that, there's also things like as a medical professional, I know a lot of science, and for some reason, kids like to learn from me. I don't know. I start talking, and we're off to the races. So that's also part of the things I want to do. And when there's no like soccer season stuff like that, there's things throughout the years that we have to do because I'm building a birthing center. So I would like to start teaching them now what this looks like, the process. I don't even know what it is. We're all gonna go through the ride, and then when they're older, they'll have something to come back to from college and stuff. So it seems like the people are around there, and it's not that much.
I love that.
Yeah.
So when we think about your mastermind group, who would be in that group?
Well, my son would be one,
Hmm.
and my daughter, and she claims that she is part of a group called the Powerpuff Girls, and they got to do everything together. So that's four.
Right. Okay, so let's think about adults. Okay, let's think about
Okay.
some adults that can help bring the vision to life.
Yeah.
I love the kids, right? Let's bring them along the journey. Love that. But let's add some adults to that mix.
Yes.
Who are some adults that have things that could help you benefit this bringing this vision to life?
Definitely. Well, I already have the Cape Crusaders. Apart from like the merch and stuff, it will also be their promotions and stuff. They do a lot of events throughout the country where car meets and things like that, where fancy
Okay.
cars and everything like that. But they're very in depth, so that's also a community that they're also promoting the whole soccer thing in their car community. So when they have those things, we can bring them in, and because they also those car events, they bring a lot of families. It's all for families. They come with a lot of
Nice.
kids. They park these fancy, cars looking wild, and they talk about like the how deeply connected they are. So that's a whole thing there of people that are willing to also be a part of it. And the Woo community, I just gotta see who's out here available. Yeah.
So listen, as you're creating your list, these are people that you will connect with on a weekly basis,
Yes.
right? And so being very specific. So I love that. I love that. Somebody might be listening now and be like, oh, I played soccer. Oh, I have this thing. Oh, I have that. And because you shared, now they're going to reach out to you and be like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Right,
hopefully.
right, right.
Hopefully,
So I love that. No, that's
thank you.
perfect. Yes, thank you for sharing. Anybody else? What are some other things that are coming up for you as you're creating your mastermind group?
This is Sierra again.
Mhm.
Funnily enough, when I was making the list, like I only had my partner's name because we've always, since high school, we'd meet up every Sunday and like we were always the accountability partners. And then it just led into something more. But that's like the end of it. And I couldn't think of anyone else. And then my brother had texted me back and I was like, like he's such a resource that I overlook. Like I remember in high school, he gave me like a book about how to grow your wealth and things like that. And he's very like he's a salesman. He wants to, start his own business, own different things. And I was just like, I don't know why I overlook him when it comes to this stuff, because whenever like I'm around, he's like, oh, like if you need help, like I'm doing this in stocks right now. Oh, you should go. I thought he got hacked. I got a text about mining Bitcoin, and I was like, "What are you doing on my phone? Like, is this you? What's going on?" So I always overlook him, and I forget. Like, he just texted me a minute ago, and I was like, "Oh, like that's someone I should utilize more and have in my circle," because he's very like. I wouldn't be surprised if I ask him if he's read this book, and he's like, "Oh yeah, read this a few years ago. I keep it on me all the time."
Yeah.
Just his mindset. So that's someone that now is on my list.
I love that. Yes. Oh, that's so good. Who else? Because then the next thing, because there's going to be action. So I need you to find the people. I need you to tell me who's on your list. Because the next thing is actually reaching out today to the people on your list. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them the goal that you have. Or even if you're not sure what the goal is yet, you can just say, hey, listen, I am creating a mastermind group and your name came to mind. Would you be interested in participating in this mastermind group? And a lot of times, even if you don't have the goal yet, if you have the group where everyone comes, right? You don't want it to be too large because everyone is busy. And so you want to make sure you have enough time for everyone to participate in that mastermind. So if they're all coming, you all are building your mindset, you're building this network of resource and skills. But everyone has the opportunity to talk about what their goals are. And to do that next thing, the first step may just be okay. Let's think about one goal that we all want to achieve and let's hold each other accountable. So we're going to do this 90-day program, or we're going to do this 90-day and we're going to talk once a week about this thing. So remember we talked in the beginning, this is action oriented, right? By the end, we're going to have a group. So who else wants to share about their group? Yeah, before, right? We was a part of one of the sessions. I don't know if you're in a place where you could talk, Veronica, but I wanted to say, hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
good. I put down one name, um, one accountability partner, and I literally just sent him a text and I asked him,
What'd you say? If you're comfortable sharing, what'd you say?
I said, when you're up and around, please give me a call. It's not about work, it's about advice. Because he's really good at building, and he built in Belize several houses. I need his advice how to move forward in on my plans that I have for the 21 acres. And
You're
so
going to be a part of your mastermind group?
I would like him to.
Mm-hmm.
I would like him to be on my mastermind group. And so his name is one of the four names that I put down, but he's the one I went immediately into action with.
Love that. I love that immediate movement. Okay, no procrastination. I love that.
Right. Thank you.
Love it. You are welcome. Who else? Who else wants to share?
Professor Marilyn DJ put in the chat, like-minded individuals with a shared vision and diverse technical skill set to reach a common goal of empowering the masses on financial responsibility and legal rights. Ooh, that was a good one.
Oh, good. Aisha, who's in your mastermind group?
Did you say Taisha?
I did. I sure did. Hey.
Hey. So as I'm listening, I was thinking, I don't know. I do know. my therapist is in my mastermind group because she keeps me grounded. I do bring my ideas to her, and instead of her saying I can't, I don't think you can, she always says, like, how could we accomplish whatever goal I bring to her, whether it's personal or professional. How could we accomplish? So I just think having an encouraging person in my mastermind group, an unbiased person, would be good. And just like everyone else said, like-minded individual. I was thinking I have to get over my judging mindset, judging others and judging myself. I'm also thinking about my mental list of 300. Some of these items are on. I came across it this morning when I was looking for my notes about this topic, and yeah, I need to start getting started on like accomplishing, accomplishing a goal on my list. And so, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. A part of my mastermind would be, just like everyone said, encouraging people, and my therapist. But I have a financial manager. That person will help me smooth out my finances, and and some of these people are not friends, like personal friends. I go to networking events, so people that are encouraging, and they say the topic, let's go, the statement, let's go, let's get this. Like Shay, when Shay comes on, she's like, let's accomplish these goals and let's do it this way. So yes, that's on my, those are the types of people in my mastermind group that I would like.
As you're forming your group, keep in mind that you're meeting together, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, right? Like whatever your group can commit to, but you're not meeting with them separately. You're creating a group that you will support each other. You're creating like this brand new team from scratch. And when you ask them, you might even want to tell them, listen, I think that you're amazing at this. I think you're amazing at that. But be real specific so they can see why you're asking them, how do you want me to show up in this group? Like you have amazing organization skills, or you're amazing with people, and I'm really good at admin. So us partner together would be great at this. Or you are so encouraging, you have such a positive energy. So having that accountability every week, and then how can I support you in the process? So we're not just looking for only for us, but we're looking to support them as well. So it's like we're going to create this mastermind accountability group where we're helping each other reach our goals, hold each other accountable to do those one or two things, right? And then once we attain that goal, then we go to the next one. But they're helping you, one, be accountable, two, think even higher. So when you have an idea, they can build on that idea. And then like, oh, I can help you with this. Again, talk about resources. Who do they know that can also help bring the vision to life? And so there's multiple things that I really want you guys to think about as we leave this morning and go throughout our day. Someone mentioned earlier about being intentional. Being intentional with the conversations that you're having, being intentional with the people that you talk to, being intentional to the people that you invite into your life, into your space. Are they bringing peace or are they taking? If they're not bringing peace, if they're not bringing ideas, what is the value that they hold into your life? And what value do you bring to others? Any questions about anything that we have chatted about? All right. So I encourage you to reach out today to the people that you want to create, 3 to 5 people in your mastermind group, and schedule time to meet with them. Get the book if you don't have it. It's on YouTube. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Audible, different versions. And just listen to it. Listen to the stories. And I hope this session was helpful for you. And that's all I have for you all today.
All right. Do you want to share your special offer with the community?
So yeah, so I do coaching. I have a couple of different programs based off of where you are in your journey, whether you know what your purpose is, whether you don't know, you're not sure. So we like have some basic things, and then there's different book clubs that I have. This is one of them. Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life is another one. So yes, anyone that is interested in one of the programs, you will be able to get 50% off.
And how are they able to get that 50% off?
So the best way to communicate with me, you can email me or you can text me. So my number is on here. The best way to contact me is through text message. I have email, but this way is just the phone because I get lots of emails and I have lots of email addresses. So the phone is the quickest way to reach me.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank
You're
you for
welcome.
such a great session. I was taking my notes.
I love that. Yay.
Yes. All right. And as kind of discussed in this session, always talking about money, always talking about how we can use that in to, one up ourselves. It's not always about being rich, but money does, buy happiness a little bit in some terms. And it affords us the opportunities to continue things. So with that being said, here we have the info for love offerings and donations. We have our Zelle at SOW Leadership Development at gmail.com, and then the Cash App at $Spirit of a Woman. If you're sending it from today's session, make sure to use the code 1358LD, just so we know that you were here at this session and that's where you're sending the love offering from. And then we also have the automated love offerings and donations. So you can click on these links and do 25, 50, 75, or $100 a month. It'll automatically take it out if you get it set up. These help pay for the platforms that we use so that we can continue to do it. The Zoom, the automated texting, things like that. So as Stacy always says, you give to receive. So that it just helps keep powering us. Up next, we have Come Out Tomorrow for Spirit's Temple, Embodying the Sacred Self. And then we have Mama Ayo on Thursday with the TBD title. Those are always fun. So can come and surprise yourself with what's coming up. We've got the intro to Postpartum Awareness Week. The video, let's see what we got.
We gather to raise awareness, centering Black, Brown, and Indigenous people.
We are shining a light on the postpartum period.
The time from the end of pregnancy due to a live birth, stillbirth, miscarriage, or abortion until 1 year from the end of pregnancy.
A time when insurance may no longer be available.
Women and birthing people may develop depression or other mental health concerns, a new diagnosis, or a worsening of chronic illnesses.
Over half of pregnancy-related deaths occur after the mother or birthing person has gone home after childbirth.
And at least 80% of these deaths are preventable.
We acknowledge the harsh reality of racial inequities in prenatal outcomes
and the impact of structural and institutional racism
and gender oppression in the context of maternal health.
We are hearing from experts, advocates, and birthing people who can shed light on the unique challenges faced by marginalized groups in the perinatal period and what we can do about it as individuals and together.
I don't know about you
we
guys.
gather to raise awareness.
I will be there. So I hope you guys all will. I know I saw a lot of people from the Woo community at the Speak Move Change event. So if you are able, please come out and join us at the National Postpartum Awareness Week. I'll let the trailer speak for itself because that was beautiful. That was the first time I was seeing it. So if that piqued your interest, it's going to be from May 4th to May 10th, a whole week of programming. Each day has like a different topic. So please come out, even if it's for one day or if you can do the whole week. The link will be dropped in the chat. Otherwise, there's a QR code on here that you can scan to register. Make sure you scroll down because it only shows like 3 or 4 days. But you can register for all 7 right there. And then we just want to take a minute to welcome the new members. I don't know if I saw any new names today, but let's change that. Keep inviting people, keep bringing people in. Imagine if so many of your friends could have been here today. They could have, heard all about being the mastermind and that person could be in your group. If anything, have them watch the replay, get them caught up to speed on what you're reading, what we're doing. So thank you to those that are joining us. Here is the schedule. You can send it out to your friends so that they come join us on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. We have our 90-minute sessions. So we can kind of dig in, get deep, explore bigger topics like this. And Monday and Wednesday, we have our 30-minute sessions. Sometimes they're a bit longer, but just come hang out for a little bit in the mornings. We are streaming live on Zoom, but we also send it out to Facebook. Sometimes if you're on the go, being on Zoom can be hard, so more than welcome to join on Facebook. You can share that link to your people. If you want to be notified when we go live, you can send Woo Nation to 74121, and you'll get a text message to let you know and remind you. Can also stay in touch. Thank you for joining. You can register at the link dropped in the chat at bit.ly/wake up movement. We also have the Facebook. We have a public and a private page. The private one is Woo Community. The public one is Woo Nation. So that way you can see the live streams, any updates. We also post who's coming up. So you can check out there. We also have the Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. We have the YouTube Woo on YouTube. This session will get posted straight to YouTube right after, so you can share there if YouTube is your preferred platform. We're going to be posting the older sessions, so if you want to go back and rewatch any session, they're all categorized by what year, so you can scroll through, see some of your favorite facilitators. And then if you have any questions or you want to volunteer, help out, you can email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And I will take this down. I ask you all to come off mute. And if you can, come on camera so we can give Lavonya her much needed and well-deserved love shower.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Lavonya.
Thank you, as usual.
Thank you for
Lots
sharing
of nuggets were dropped, and I'm so
and
grateful.
pouring out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So grateful for this meeting.
May you be replenished and blessed as tenfold times for sharing. Thank you for all that you do and bring to the space.
Peace and blessings to everybody, and Ashe. Everybody who shared, this was so amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day.
Yes, same as you, same to you.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, thank you.
Hope all goes well with you later, Chris.
Okay, I'm right here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Hey, Adam. Hey, Rashida, Chantel, Grand Rising all. Have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Wake up, Teresa.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's go for it, everybody, and let's keep growing.
Yes, yes.
And good job, Lavonya.
Thank you.
Let's continue to decolonize the way we think about wealth.
Wonderful. Signing off. God bless everyone.
Poverty is not an environment, it's a choice.
That's the truth. That is the truth. Yep.
Love you all. Signing off.
Bye, everybody.